Good afternoon. Of course, speaking about cities inside a department, urban lab of a city, is always a little dangerous, of course. A city hall is a mirror. Whatever I say about architecture, public space, urban life will reflect directly onto everyone in this room, politicians, planners, investors, citizens, or students. So I would like to begin with a simple, slightly uncomfortable idea. A city is not its monuments, its marketing campaigns, or its rankings on quality of life indexes. A city is the sum of what its inhabitants feel when they cross its streets. Do they feel safe or threatened? Seen or invisible? Proud or ashamed? Do they feel that the city recognizes them, or that it's just a backdrop where they try not to get in the way of cars and tourists? If we want to talk about an architecture philosophy of the city, we have to start here, in the body, in the everyday, in the anonymous citizen who will never read an urban plan, but who lives inside its consequences. The question is not what city do we want to show Europe in 2029 or 2035. The deeper question is, how does the city, in this case Lublin, feel at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday morning in November, when the bus is late, the pavement is icy, and someone is carrying their shopping up 3 flights of stairs without a lift? If our architecture and our planning cannot answer that question, we have failed, no matter how beautiful the renderings may be. Today, instead of a purely theoretical or technical lecture, I want to share a more personal and autobiographical perspective. I will take you through my journey as an architect, as an agent in the transformation of my city, my country, and also Europe, throughout architectural, cultural, and creative initiatives. I will discuss the fields I navigate, the type of work I engage in, and the challenge I face. But more importantly, I want to open up a discussion about the broader challenges that we all encounter in our cities in the 21st century. I'll start with this video.
But Holland comes in for a pit stop. Time to refuel and change tires. Newmore himself changes the tires. Only 4 crew members, including the driver, are allowed to work on the car. It's a tense time. Holland stays in his seat, anxious to get away. Let's watch. Tires are changed at last. A crewman polishes the windshield as Holland moves away just 67 seconds after he stops.
Amazing, isn't it? It's not today, 2030. Well, this video perfectly illustrates the transformation happening nowadays. It highlights the intersection between technology, knowledge, and teamwork. Fields that are increasingly converging in the 21st century. As architects, we must recognize that our role is no longer confined to the physical built environment. We are now part of a broader ecosystem where digital innovation, new media, and interdisciplinary collaboration are shaping the way we design, communicate, and interact with spaces. The challenges presented in the video resonate with what we are discussing today. How can we adapt to rapid technological advancement while maintaining creativity and cultural relevance? How do we redefine our profession, our cities, in an area where boundaries between disciplines are becoming more fluid? These are the questions we must address moving forward. All this in the city, in our life, our reality, we are talking about change. This is the new reality, change, but also challenges, also the environmental crisis, the digital revolution, the cultural and social transformation, and this is what we have. So, as Tom Goodwin says, it's really interesting, this text, something interesting is happening. As a matter of fact, the iPhone 6 sold in 2014 contained 25 times more computing power than all devices in the world in 1995. So, to frame our conversation, let's start by looking at some data in here. In 1990, there were only 10 megacities worldwide, home to 7% of the global population. By 2014, this number had grown to 28 megacities, representing 12% of the population. And projections indicate that may be in 2013, there will be at least 41 mega cities. So, this rapid urbanization presents complex changes and also challenges. Challenges that architects and professionals in the society must address. How do we design and adapt our cities to accommodate this growth sustainably? How can architecture contribute to shaping better urban environments? The architect, more than a technical specialist, needs to be someone with a wider vision. He needs to understand, analyze, and consider the big picture, not only the frame, and consider the big picture, and to think about having impact in a long-term perspective. Fernando Távora, one of my masters and founders of my school, my Porto school, used to say, there is no unity without variety. The modern architect must be both a visionary and a strategist, a creator and a problem solver. More than ever, architecture must transcend its traditional boundaries to embrace innovation, interdisciplinarity, and a deep commitment to the community it serves. Following his advice, this is my school, my approach as a teacher and researcher at FAUP, in Porto, have always been to seek for variety, for divergence and inclusion. Either when teaching in Portugal or abroad, as in Angola, where I founded the architecture faculty in Wambo, or even in my class, where students always have the space and opportunity to experiment, to feel the materials, to learn by doing. Somehow we all recognize that we are now facing also huge challenges in terms of education and teaching methods. For me, this sentence of Alvin Toffler highlights a very important skill for all of us these days. The illiterates of 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write, but those who are not able to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So, how can we, yes, we, all of us, build the city nowadays? How to attend to all these challenges and opportunities? I'm sorry, but I don't have the answer for you. Of course. Indeed, this is a question I'm hoping to discuss with you today, and who knows, maybe we can find some clues or paths to follow. However, although this century highlighted the urgency on attending this question, this is something that I always have been dealing with. The need to learn, unlearn, and relearn has always been there. Today I will try to show you a way how I use my time and my efforts professionally, so you may have an idea how I deal with some different challenges throughout my career. Trying to think about city as a collaborative process, city also as a result of a small contribution, the city as a place of identity that is really important, and also city as a sense of collective sense of belonging that is really important. I do it in my office, as a boutique office, in CNL Architects. But what is really important is the thing that we need to do. Mostly, more than just talking and discussing, we need, in fact, is to do. We should make our part, and I'll start with my part as architect. So let's start with architecture. And I show you an example of my ideas in architecture. I'm sorry, it's in Portuguese, but you can read.
Não é esse o motivo que acordo todos os dias e que trabalho. Eu sei, procura mais a experiência. Procura a experiência e não a memória. Posso dizer que procura não reproduzir uma verdade, mas tão apenas, diria, descobrir. E vai por aí. Percorrer caminhos que não são caminhos específicos da arquitetura, embora cada vez mais não estamos limitados. Abrir caminho e vai pela arte, pela arquitetura, pela paisagem, todo o tempo que nos atravessa, sem repetir verdades. Muitas das vezes o que vemos são verdades dos outros, são memórias que não são nossas, olhares que não procuram novo, e tudo o que é repetido. Que eu isso tenho alguma dificuldade em aceitar. Eu acho que todos nós temos que fazer o nosso percurso, temos que meter os nossos erros, temos que experimentar, e não tanto seguir a vida dos outros, reproduzir as suas memórias, reproduzir umas falsas filosofias, falsas coerências. E isso preocupa-me bastante na arquitetura como na arte. Por isso tenho uma grande relação com a arte, porque nos espelha, só como a música, espelha com muito rigor os nossos tempos, mas mais do que os nossos tempos, os tempos que aí vêm, aqueles que nós vamos atravessar, aqueles que vamos ter de compreender também. Por isso, gosto de estudar a vida de pintores, a vida e as obras de escultores, das artes plásticas em geral, do cinema, do teatro também. Tudo isso eu acho que contribui bastante para construirmos a nossa experiência, aquilo que queremos fazer, aquilo que queremos exigir, aquilo que nós queremos. E isso no fundo torna talvez, se possa dizer que é um bocadinho sair do ar, que as coisas são todas diferentes umas das outras. Claro que são. Odeio repetir uma fórmula de um dia para o outro. Odeio repetir uma solução, uma proporção até, um esquema geométrico, uma tipologia. Se puder desenvolver outras, eu prefiro. E isso que me move, não é? na criação, neste conflito permanente, construirmos a nossa própria experiência, nesta vontade de querer fazer também algo diferente, não pela diferença, mas porque as coisas são diferentes todos os dias. Por todos os dias a vida é uma nova experiência. E é para esta nova experiência que temos de estar preparados. A arquitetura, tal como dizia Robert Rauschenberg, a arte não vem da arte. Eu penso também que a arquitetura não vem da arquitetura. É preciso ver outras coisas. É preciso estar entre as coisas. É preciso compreender outras coisas. E, sobretudo, compreender as pessoas, compreender os momentos, compreender a nossa própria vontade de fazer as coisas e não tanto aceitar aquilo que nos põe à frente, as lógicas que muitas escolas também ensinam e que os alunos produzem. Isso tudo é efetivamente preocupante. Eu acho que nós temos de ser livres e aceitar a nossa verdade, os nossos compromissos com a criação. Por isso, as coisas não têm que ser iguais, não têm que ser fáceis de compreender, alinhadas. Portanto, eu acho da experiência mais do que propriamente da continuidade. De encontrar fechado uma certa ideia de coerência.
Okay, I'm sorry for the time. It's too big. Okay, very well. Very well. I think I'm sorry for it's too big, and we do it like when we do houses like this. We do other. What is this? No. Schools. Yeah, but I think I'm just no. And we do it with housing programs like these ones, like this one, like in schools also. In other schools, in heritage buildings, theaters, like this one in Porto, urban planning also, and collective housing, also sports centers like this, and also interior design, and like this one, airports and things. So we are a small and a boutique office in Espinho, is in a small city near and close to Porto, and we did this during 35 years, and we are trying to create different things for the society, as you know. And I trying to show you a different thing that is a few years ago we found research development and Innovation Department in my office, aiming to address different fields in action. Okay, we want to work in industry and service, digitalization and construction. These 6 ideas for the team, and we create and we want to talk about it from building the city to create impact in people's lives. So we create in that department, we create a modular school center concept. It was our idea to create something really new. And in Portugal, in the north of Portugal, we had the opportunity to create this in Paredes, no? The small city in Paredes. And Paredes had a problem with the students. They had a lot, a dropout rate is big, huge, alarming numbers of dropout rates from the school. So they need to create different solutions and a different school to improve and to correct these numbers. So they think about new measures, different strategies to create impact in the society. And our constitution says that we have the right to education and culture, and also we need to have an idea of the democratization of education. They asked me to adapt my idea, this concept, and we created this to foster identity there, to equity and opportunities for them, the school as a common good that we want to create, and we want also to embrace the communities. Of course, we part from an idea for the students, that the student has the possibility to create different learning models and also create a long life learning for the parents also. So we decided and we create different models, different shapes, different forms, and with that we can create different interior spaces, also linked with nature and also linked for the future, that they can grow up the school and they can put another forms, another programs in the school to adapt with nature, with learn, with sport, and also with the community. That was the idea. And we can do it, different schools, different shapes, with different plots, in different communities, trying to create identity for them. So the architecture in this city worked as an aggregator and something that people could see as good. It's not only a way of living there, but the architecture should create identity for them and change the way they feel the city and change the way they understand also the buildings, and change also the way they use and the future of them, also the community. We did it in more or less 18 schools. As you see, the principle, the idea is the same, but we have all different shapes, different forms, different because of the community, because of the site, because of what they want, and we talk with them, we talk with the municipality, we talk with the people to understand why they don't like the schools they have, why the children doesn't want to go there, and what to do. So the architecture is not only about buildings. It's a lot. Sometimes it's a health program. Okay. Also here it's different. I'll show you one. Just one to. It was this school. This all in wood, because we want to create identity, and it was a success school, because it has a lot. This is the part of the city, and there's a lot. They produce furniture. They are all it's like in this village. They are all furniture producers. A lot of industry in that. So we create this. They only have this plot, something that was impossible to build, but I said to the mayor, no, it's possible to do, and we can develop a solution for the context, for the inclusion. We had meetings with the community and Junta de Freguesia to understand what they want, to understand that they don't want nothing modernist, but they want something that mirrored the shape of the houses, like that. And I took that to create something new, but it's not about only the architecture. What is new, as you see the parents in night using the school. So the school is not only for the kids, it's the kids during the day, but it is for the community in the weekends and in the night. And this is a picture of the school, some details, and I use the facade to create something to play, because we don't have much space for the children. So I use this is the movement, and it was really interesting because they use this as an icon for the kids, and also from this now it's an icon for all the village. So it's really interesting the way that we changed not only the place, not only the site, but of course we changed the community. Okay, so architecture is really important in different views. What we learn here, we learn that the dropout rate. We passed from this alarming retention of and dropout rates to 0.9%. We create we have a reduction of conflict and indiscipline, less disciplinary action, and more effective learning time. Also increase motivation with better learning results. And also, it was really important, we got the community involvement with 10% of population role in long life learning. That is really good. And increase of employment rates. And we also got the respect for spaces, for the school, and significant decrease of vandalism. Because when you offer quality, the people understand quality and respect quality. And it was in the end we got this. We were invited to applicate this concept in other countries. And we are still working. It has more than 10 years, 30, 15 years, but we are still working on this concept a little bit all over the world. So it was good idea for using the architecture to solve problems, okay? Also providing solutions for the community. I'll bring you another idea that we did in the same research group department that we have inside. That is a project that we call New People, New Housing. What is that? In the pandemic period, we designed houses. We create something that we thought, because the house is the best medicine, we provide some new housing concepts for a new living. So we provide for free different solutions. And we create this periodic table, and with this we offer to people to choose 14, the element 14 is unity. For instance, the S28 is sun, as you see. It's like the elements. And with this, the people can choose the house they want to have. And then we create, for instance, new people knows extension, glass house, mosaic, freedom, ring, bubbles, etc., etc. I'll bring you this example is mosaic. With this 32 is connection, openness, modular, and also ecological. So it was a client, a person. It was not a client because we offered, okay? During the pandemic period, we offered this project to them. It was more to discuss and things like that. It was really interesting because old people are inside the houses with problems with the houses, understanding that the house is really important for the families, and we discussed too much with a lot of people that send the idea. So connection, opens, modular, and echo produce this an ecological patio house with volumes of different functions aggregated around the cloister of a Roman tradition. It was more or less like that. The concept was this, and we create this plan, and also because we do it in BIM, it was more or less like that, and we create this house for a family here with this kind of image for them. Another example, it was 7 arts, with overlap, cube, connection, confined, and with that we create these things, and again we have literature, painting and sculpture, the volume of audiovisual, the volume of cooking, the volume of music and dance, because it was a family that asked that for this, and we create something to give them, to discuss, to train, to understand to what is a house, to think what is a house, if this is the house they want or not, and things like that. So again, another idea of the architecture to solve problems to the community, one, but now for the families also. Of course, I have different possibilities of showing. Also, the idea that building cities is also the needs that we need to have to offer cultural landscapes and create new cultural landscapes. I used to create scenography and stage design, and it's also a process of understanding the space and to create with architecture new ideas, new perspectives, new spaces for the society, of course, and for culture. These are some images of my work. This is for television, this is for National Theatre, this is for Eurovision Song Contest, yes, in Portugal. This is for a great magician that it's also here, the same magician. For the television, it's for a national program, National Theatre, another scenario, and this one it was for the beginning concert I designed for the European culture that I designed with the trees and the orchids. It was a real concert, and it was bigger than this. Of course, it was really nice, this stage design. But also, we can change the way we understand the city, and we can create also with the furniture. I'll bring you an example that it was really strange, but is a good example to see how important is architecture and how important are the architects in our society. So every creation can have an impact on city and also in society. Even furniture, okay, when you design furniture. These are some examples of my work that you saw. This huge bed, this bar, a lot of things that is just to understand. But I want to talk this. We have a problem because every summer in Portugal, wildfires burn a huge portion of Portuguese forest. So we have that problem. And as you see that there, the last wildfire burned 520,000 hectares, nearly by 6% of the US total size. It's incredible. However, when the winter comes, the problem is forgotten. Okay, we have all problem in the summer, but when the winter comes, there's no problem. So they invite me to create something to shock the people, to say, wow, you need to do something. Can't forget. This is the project. I don't touch this. This is a goat? No.
A ideia é transformar a madeira queimada num objeto que contém a memória da morte e da destruição causada pelo fogo. Isto para que nunca nos esqueçamos. A minha intenção na criação destes objetos tem muito mais a ver com a ideia da permanência. É um anti-design. Em vez de proporcionar conforto, queremos gerar desconforto.
And it was like that. It's strong idea. The idea was not mine. I was only invited to integrate this. But it's I show you some designs, some furniture design. This one also. It's not good for anyone. It's not to sit this. So this is the result of the fire. So we need to think about this. Is impossible to write here. The idea was to give this to the Prime Minister and sign your documents here. It's not. So we need to change. So architecture, sometimes it's possible to create this. So when I preparing this lecture, I was wondering how to address these challenges. Also, I was thinking on how to deal with all of that uncertainty in the future. I was even thinking, what does Lublin want to be? There's a famous architect, is Louis Kahn, and he used to tell to his students, you say to brick, what do you want, brick? and brick says, I like an arc. Behind humor is a serious message. Materials, places, programs have their own nature. Good architecture starts by listening to that nature instead of imposing a form from outside. So, what happens if you ask not only the brick, not only the building, but the city? But I'm a guest here. It is not my role to tell you what to do with your city. What I can offer, humbly, is some ideas. I realize that, as in other many things, the transformation is made of repetitive small things that we all can do. So the transformation needs to sometimes start with me, with us, with me, with I. So I create 21 ideas, because it all starts with I, that can shape and use to shape future synthesis. And I divided in the three areas that I want to give you just to discuss after that. The first chapter will be vision and creativities in these 21 ideas. One is innovation, of course. We need to reinvent some practices. We need to address, of course, and integrate these contemporary challenges that we are live now and need to understand. The other is inspiration, exploring creative process and new ways of thinking. Other is intuition, valuing sensitive and instinct in architectural conception. Other is imagination. Other is impermanence, that is really important also, embracing change and transit as a fundamental aspect. Instability, and also, in the end, this impact. We need to create impact. Measure the long-term effects of architecture on people, on culture, and of course, on our environment. This is really important. After we build, we need to see what happens. And sometimes we don't go back to the crime local to see what it happened. We need to create impact, of course, and also measure in the long term. And also the chapter of people and society. We need inclusion, designing accessible and equitable space. Identity, the idea of creating a sense of belonging is really important. Also, intimacy, the idea of foster personal connections. Intersectionality, internationalization, because we are linked with the world. So fostering cultural exchange and global perspectives is really important. And also integrity, that is interdisciplinarity, I think, for the last integration, knowledge from different fields. Architecture doesn't come only for architecture, okay? In another chapter, we have systems and transformation. We need the intervention, interactivity, informality, infrastructure, information, that is really important, understanding the impact of digital access to knowledge, and in the end, we'll have inertia, challenging resistance to change and outdated practices. It's really important, fight against sometimes the inertia. And this give us the meaning of the 21 is weaving, connecting people. You need to connecting people, disciplines, and ideas to shape a collective future. So instead of I, we need to create the we. The idea of we is stronger than. Because, what's that? Because we need new tools, we need competence and professionalism, we need rigor and quality, also sharing knowledge, and of course, diversity and flexibility in architecture, in cities, in our buildings, in our way of life. And together, to bring people together, to foster motivation that is really important, that will live happy with the solutions in our society, that it means to build spaces of connection. And I think this is the most important that I can bring to you, not solutions, but ideas. And I think with this slide, I can finish my presentation. And it is an invitation to think about all of this and to think and understand that architecture is really, really important and can save our lives also, but can save also our society. So thank you very much for your time. And I'm sorry if it's too big, this presentation. So thank you, and I'm happy to be here.